Hey everyone. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. What did you get for Christmas? Or what did you wish for Christmas? What did you get yourself for Christmas? Write it in the comment section below. I'd like to know. I hope you all had a Merry and blessed Christmas. And for the people who don't celebrate, I hope you had a happy holidays, nonetheless. And I hope you spend it with your loved ones, whoever they may be. You know who I don't hope had a Merry Christmas, and it seems like he very much didn't? Our own Grinch. And you know who that is this year? That is Prager, Dennis Prager, who's back at it again, writing articles for his own website about how much he hates the holiday seasons and how much it is definitely not his fault, but it's the left who's ruined Christmas and the holidays and the family all in one. I would like to show you the most hilarious, the most cope-filled, the most shameless article that I've seen written by Dennis Prager ever since he wrote about how his wife shouldn't say no to his romantic advances when they're married. Very, very interesting stuff. But that's for another day. Let's talk about this really quick. Why many conservatives won't be with their children or grandchildren this Christmas. Incredibly interesting meme. Now, what I would imagine is that the reason why many conservatives won't be with their children or grandchildren this Christmas is because they're bad people who spend all day watching Fox News, Dennis Prager, and other conservatives that have taught them to hate their family for who they are and what they believe, making them irritable and inflammatory and unfun to be around for the holidays, and so they have to cut them out for their children's well-being, for themselves and their children's well-being, because they're terrible people who ruin Christmas and the holidays every single time, and it is all their fault. But Dennis Prager has another idea for what happened, and let's read on to see what that is. There are probably hundreds of thousands of men and women who, because of political differences, maintain minimal or no contact with their parents, and, even more cruelly, do not allow their parents to have any contact with their children, their parents' grandchildren. No! Probably an unprecedented number of Americans with grown children will be alone this Christmas because their children will neither visit them nor invite them for the holiday dinner. Now, I have to say, personally, if you're 99% of the time, now there are just bad kids, all right? They're just like bad kids, all right? That cut their parents out of their lives simply because they're bad people, brats, losers, and just horrible people. Okay, that's 100% true. But he's talking about politics here, and specifically left-wing politics that gets you to not want to left and right-wing politics that get you to not want to spend any time with your family for Christmas. Now, a lot of conservatives, they are in this really weird wishy-washy world where politics is incredibly important and means nothing at all at the same time. It's very strange. And so what they'll say when they want politics to matter is that this is incredibly important, and the soul of the nation and our culture and our future and the planet and everything that we hold the most dear to our hearts is in danger 24/7, and we have to stop the left by any means necessary, and slur. But when they don't want it to matter, they say the left brings politics into everything, and the left is ruining everything, and they care too much about politics, and politics shouldn't get in between them and their family, slur, right? And so it's incredibly weird. They want to have their cake and eat it too, where when politics matters to them, we have to bend to their will, but when politics doesn't matter to them and they want what they want, then politics, come on, you're being too political, bro, stop. What the heck? You just because I said you're a freak degenerate that's destroying children, doesn't mean and who should probably be put in the ghetto, doesn't mean that you shouldn't invite me to Christmas and keep me from seeing my grandchildren. They're mine. No, they're not. They're not yours. They're your grandchildren, but they're not your kids. Absolutely not. Not at all. Without your children, you wouldn't have any grandchildren. Period. And I think it's important for me personally. And a lot of these people will try to use it as a sort of like cudgel against queer people, minorities who they would like to bully. Bullies love being around their victims. And so obviously they'll get mad when they're not allowed to be around any of these like people. But Have you ever looked inwards for why they wanted to cut you out? Why you seem dangerous, or why you ruin the holidays, or why just the presence of you being there makes the holidays a lot less jolly? You should think about that. What do you do? What do you say? But in here, when it comes to conservatives, there is no introspection. There is no thinking about what they could possibly do wrong. They're just victims who things happen to them and they don't do anything. They never deserve anything wrong for happening to them. They never deserve anybody not speaking to them. They believe what they believe, and we should all just bend to their whim because they're the main character and we're just an NPC, remember? We're all just NPCs in their world. In some rare instances of horrific parental behavior, this may be excusable, but when the reason is politics, it is inexcusable. There it is. Politics is just like, what's your favorite model train? What's your favorite handhold? What's your favorite game console? That's all politics is. I know this firsthand. Parent after parent calls my radio show often close to tears. Close to tears. Oh, you know what? Here, I got you. I know how to deal with this. Poor baby. Here's how we should read the rest of this article, at least for a little bit. Here, I got you. I have a perfect song for this. Parent after parent calls my radio show, often close to tears, sometimes actually sobbing, pouring their heart out to me about being alone on holidays. Despite having children and grandchildren. In virtually every case, the parent is a conservative. Tell me something that you'll not be surprised for $1,000. I'm rich. And the child is on the left. I assume there are cases of grown conservative children who allow their liberal parents or grandparents to see their grandchildren, but I've never heard of a single of such case. It is almost impossible to imagine a conservative adult depriving his or her parents of access to their grandchildren because their parents voted for Joe Biden. Moreover, if there was such a person, every conservative I know would vociferously. I'm going to use vehemently condemn this individual. And so here's the thing. I do 100% know that there are parents and grandparents I do 100% know that there are like conservative children, like, or grown children that separate themselves from their like more normie lib parents, or like defoo a bit. The biggest thing when it comes to a lot of these like right-wing circles, especially the ones that prey on like disaffected guys, one of the first things that they do is like the defoo, to separate you from your family. That's one of the first things that they do. So of course, so they have more access to you. So you believe them more than you believe that your actual family that you grew up with. They do this all the time. They've been known to do this. This isn't surprising. This isn't curious. It's a normal cult tactic that they use constantly. Why is this happening? No accountability. The further left you go, the less likely you are to believe that you are accountable to an absolute moral code, let alone to a giver of an absolute moral code. On the other hand, conservatives, certainly religious conservatives, who are people who believe in God-given 10 commandments, believe that they are obligated to honor their parents irrespective of such things as political differences. You can honor your parents. You just don't have to spend time with them. I don't have to like go to like my elderly parents' house if they were like conservative. You know, as like a lib who has like crazy Fox News destroyed mind of like parents. You don't have to go to their house and like kick them over in their damn wheelchair every single day, right? Like that's not what's happening. He's framing this as you just like destroying, trying to kill your conservative parents or something, where you could just not want to spend time with them. I'm sorry. I think it's very reasonable to not want to do that. But to these conservatives, they don't, because they still want access to you. They still want access to their prey. That's the thing. All right. And honestly, if you want anyone to blame for this, if you want to talk about no accountability, how about the news stations and the radio channels who go on and say blatant lies over the airwaves day in and day out for decades and destroying the minds of these people and forming them into cults and if you want to see what it's like to have a destroyed family, go on to r/QAnon casualties to take a look at those families that got ripped apart because of what these conservatives were pushing. If you want to see like brainwashing and you want to see what it's like for a person to be like destroyed to the point where you can't spend any time around them anymore, then look at that. Because I can promise you that a lot of these like kids, they don't want to cut out their parents. They don't think it's fun. People love to love their parents. People want to be with their family, especially during the holidays. It's not that they don't want to, and it's not that TikTok told them not to. It's because they can't. Their parents and Fox News and the inability of the FTC to actually regulate and put through harsh enough punishments is what made this possible. It's not the left's fault for not wanting to be around people who hate them. I'm sorry. I've had to cut out people out of my life who are just horrible people, who are just hateful people, to people who are just living their lives, who spend day in and day out thinking about how they can make minorities suffer. And that's basically it. And the victimhood off of these people for doing something as simple as trying to enjoy the holiday with the family that they have is honestly disgusting, but not surprising. It's just what these people are. They just want access without any, talking about no accountability, without any accountability for who they are, the actions that they do, and the things that they believe that make them unlikable and unable to be with their family for the holiday season. I'm sorry. And maybe one day they'll come to grips with that. Maybe one day they'll understand, or maybe they won't. I don't know. But it's not my problem. It's yours. Fix yourself. Do better. And your family will 9 times out of 10 welcome you back with open arms because they don't hate you. They just can't be around you. And that is your fault, not theirs. You need to fix yourself. That's what I would want to say to someone like Prager, someone who would be shocked and think that his father was drunk if he told him that he loved him. That's horrible, honestly. But it's not surprising with the type of family dynamics that these types of people push. It's disgusting. And he goes on to talk about how the left are big meanie heads. The fact is that leftism often produces mean people. So true. We're the mean ones. There are decent and indecent liberals and decent and indecent conservatives, but many leftists are indecent, and leftism makes them so. Whereas neither liberalism nor conservatism makes people indecent, leftism breeds ingratitude, victimhood, moral arrogance, and therefore cruelty. This is the biggest cope possible from somebody who's writing an article forming confirmation biases that makes people not be with their families for the holidays. That is remarkable to me, to talk about victimhood when this entire article is about you being a victim of you not being able to be around your family while you watch Fox News and talk about how much that Boston Children's Hospital deserved to get a bomb threat. Okay? Sorry, nobody wants to be around you for the holidays. Fix yourself. Grow up. It's really sad, but like a lot of like 50, 60, 70, 80 year olds need to grow up, and I'm not sure if they ever will. Unfortunate as it is. He goes on to say that we're godless freaks and we have no consciences. 100% the way to get back to with your family for the holidays. 100%. I wonder. Interesting move. Let's see how it works out for them in college. Yes, college is evil and bad, and when you get educated, education is bad because education is done by left wingers because conservatives aren't educated enough to typically do teaching, and so it makes them left wing, which makes them hate their parents because it's It's just sad. It's just sad. It's really sad, right? What I'd like to say for the people who are still going through their holiday season, and for the people who were not with their family and spent like Christmas or whatever holiday that you experience around this, that you observe around this time of the year, You don't have to be around people who hate you. No matter what any of these people say, you don't have to be around people who despise you. No matter what any of these people say, your family are the people who love you. And your real family are the ones who want to keep you around and treat you as if you are family. The idea of like blood and birth and all of these things, they love to try and talk about how blood is thicker than water, but the blood of the covenant is far thicker than the water of the womb. And when all that you have to bind you to your family is simply the fact that you all birthed each other, or and often these days did it by accident, or anything along those lines, that's not a good enough reason to just keep you around. Now, it's a good enough reason to like not try to kill you or something. It's a good enough reason to not try to like, I don't know, harm you or get like your job taken away from you or something, or try to like do horrible things to you. But it's not a good enough reason to be around you, to stay around you, to want to ever be around you, to speak to you, to call you, to invite you over. That's not a good enough reason. A lot of these people at the end of the day, at the end of the day, this is simply taking their children for granted. They don't respect their children. They don't trust their children. And they honestly barely care about their children, whether they want to say it or not. If they really respected their children, they wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. They just wouldn't. Now, obviously, like I said, sometimes there are some things that you just can't do, and there are parents who have to cut their children out of their life for being bad people. I know that this is true, and I've seen some really bad kids who deserve to be cut off from their family. Well, kids as in you were born to them, but you're more grown now, right? They deserve to be cut off from your family. You know what you're doing, and you are dishonoring them. You can honor your family, but that honor does not have to include you including them in everything, especially if they don't honor you back. It's not family, relationships, and love is not a one-way street where you give all and they give nothing. You deserve as much, if not more, love than them. And if they don't do that, then they don't deserve you. And they obviously don't want you. You're worth more than that. And no matter how much crying and groveling and sniffling into their like waddle neck jowls that they do about how they can't for the third year in a row they can't put on Tucker Carlson talking about how much minorities deserve to be ghettoized in America for destroying the soul of the nation during Christmas while we're just trying to open our cute little gifts. I'm sorry. Your fault. Grow up, Dennis. Grow up, those conservative parents, and learn to actually give and not just take. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi.
Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.